Good evening. Please join me in standing and welcoming the Monson High School class of 2017. Please remain standing as I call upon RENA Reyes to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing as the band plays our national anthem. Thank you. You may now be seated. Once again, welcome to the 2017 graduation ceremony for the Monson High School. My name is Bill Metzger, and I am the very lucky principal of this school. I just want to add, I'm very glad you all survived the torrential downpour out there. 30%, what a number. Tonight, we welcome several special guests. Thank you to School Committee Chairman, Mr. Peter Sorial, for being with us, and Member Patricia Onay, Superintendent of Schools, CHERYL Clarke, and to the faculty and staff of all three of our schools, the heart and soul of the Monson Public Schools. Can we give them a hand, please? You've all just completed a monumental task. Congratulations. But before we make it about you guys for the rest of the night, let's take a minute to talk about the people that literally made this evening possible. Never forget the love and the sacrifices that your parents have made for you and shown you over the years, preparing you and arming you with this education, getting ready to go out into the world. Over the next few years, many of you will begin to realize they were right a lot more times than you gave them credit for. And the decisions that they made that you hated weren't just to make you mad. It was because they loved you and they thought they were doing the right thing. Decades from now, they will need you the way you've needed them. Honor them and love them always. Can we have the parents please stand of the graduating class so you can be recognized? Come on. Now, ladies and gentlemen of the class of 2017, some thoughts for you this evening. Several weeks ago, as I began to think about what I might say tonight, the first thought that popped into my mind was, whatever you do, stay away from politics and current events. So once I knew what not to talk about, I still had a speech to write. And I thought about some great words from two men that I admire quite a bit. The first is Coach Belichick. His mantra is simple: do your job. Simply put, he has inspired his players to be singularly focused on doing and being their best every single day. Whether they're on the practice squad or a TB12 himself, everyone in the organization focuses every day on being their best and doing their best and giving their best to their teammates and their fans. So what does it mean to be your best and to do your job? I would say it takes many things. First, it means showing up every day ready to work, even when you're tired or you don't feel good or the weather is bad. It means figuring out what your role is and embracing it. Doing your job takes sincere effort. It takes open and honest communication with yourself and those around you. Doing your job means recognizing that you can always do better and to be open to criticism and suggestions when they are warranted. Doing your best means that you're able to say, I didn't get it right today, but you know what? I'm going to give it my best effort tomorrow. Doing your job well, whether as a student, an employee, a boss, a partner, a friend, whatever role you play in life, means being able to move past either the positive or the negatives of the past to be able to focus on the future and make it the best one possible. Believe in yourself and work hard, and good things will come to you. I can't promise there'll be 5 Super Bowl trophies, but good things will come. The second wise man might get me in a little bit of trouble with Mrs. Clark. But I'm sure some of you guys can appreciate it's better sometimes to ask for forgiveness than permission, am I right? Yeah? You know what I'm talking about? So while I personally would never recommend gambling on sports or table games with you guys, I think there's a reason those casinos are so big and shiny. There will be times in life where you're going to have to gamble and take risks by stepping outside of your comfort zone. And when those times present themselves, there are no better words to guide us than those of the gambler himself, Mr. Kenny Rogers. He tells us you got to know when to hold them, when to fold them, when to walk away, and when to run. I promise you, no truer words have ever been spoken. Let's think about it for a minute. You got to know when to hold them. Be comfortable with your beliefs, your morals, and your ethics. It's okay to stand your ground when you believe you are right, even if those around you are unwilling or unable to do it themselves. Always remember who you are and live your life in a way that you can always be proud of yourself and the decisions that you have made. It's about living with yourself, not pleasing others. When to fold them. You don't need to respond to every invitation for conflict that life sends your way. Knowing how and when to walk away are skills all successful individuals possess. And by the way, believe it or not, in the future, you are going to be wrong. And that's okay. Don't fight that. Embrace it. Learn from it. Life is not always about being right or getting the last word in. Don't limit yourselves in that way. Know when to walk away. If something seems too good to be true, it usually is. Regardless of the direction in which life takes you, there will be people that take shortcuts or just plain do the wrong thing because it's easy, or it makes a lot of money, or it makes them feel good. You will come across people that don't appreciate the incredible person you are and don't show you the respect and the love that you deserve. Know when to walk away from these situations and these people. It might be very hard at first, but in the long run, it's their loss, not yours. Know when to run. Know when to run towards your dreams or new opportunities. You will likely have many jobs and many relationships of all kinds over the course of your life. Sometimes people and opportunity come into your life that you never see coming. It is easy to stay in the safety of what has become your everyday routines, either personally or professionally. But decades from now, when your parents and I are long gone, you don't want to spend the twilight years thinking, What if? What if I'd taken that risk? What if I had done that? What if I had said yes? Close your eyes and take that leap of faith once in a while. Follow your dreams. In closing, I would like to congratulate you all once again. This is a huge life milestone and an accomplishment. Being your principal has truly been one of the greatest honors of my life. I hope, like your parents, you will come to understand that some of the decisions I made that you didn't like were because I loved you and I thought I was doing the right thing. Remember always to do your job and to know when to hold them, when to fold them, when to walk away, and when to run. Congratulations. And now I'd like to call up for her salutatory address with essay, Ms. Haley Vrelst. Mrs. Fallis will pin the salutatorian medal on her as she approaches the podium.
Hello, everyone. My name is Haley Vrelst. Thank you for joining us this evening. I'd like to start with a poem entitled If by Rudyard Kipling. If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you. If you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too. If you can wait and not be tired by waiting, or being lied about, don't deal in lies. Or being hated, don't give way to hating. And yet don't look too good, nor talk too wise. If you can dream and not make dreams your master. If you can think and not make thoughts your aim. If you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two impostors just the same. If you can bear to hear the truth you've spoken, twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools. Or watch the things you gave your life to broken, and stoop and build them up with worn-out tools. If you can make one heap of all your winnings and risk it on one turn of pitch and toss and lose, and start again at your beginnings, and never breathe a word about your loss. If you can force your heart and nerve and sinew to serve your turn long after they are gone, and so hold on when there's nothing in you except the will which says to them, hold on. If you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings, nor lose the common touch. If neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, if all men count with you but none too much. If you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, yours is the earth and everything that's in it. To my fellow graduates first, tonight is not the last day we will see each other, but it does signify the end of our time as students of Monson High School. We have spent days, months, and years wading our way through those halls. We've climbed over mountains, swum our way through homework, and finally, we have reached the moment where we say goodbye. I find it bittersweet that we are finally moving on, and yet leaving the place we've spent our last 4 years. I hope that memories have been made for all of you, that you will be able to look back on them in fondness, with laughter, and a sense of nostalgia. And if they weren't the greatest, keep your head up, for there are better days to come. In stepping forward, some of us will leave, some of us will stay. Whatever path you may take, remember, don't rush. Life goes by quickly, much like these past 4 years. So take your time, notice the joy of life, and look for the silver lining in the clouds. Discover your dreams and follow them the best you can. Thank you to my friends and classmates. When I moved here 6 years ago, I wasn't sure what to expect, and I certainly didn't expect to be welcomed into a second family. At times, it feels as though I've been here forever, and it is crazy to think, just 6 years ago, we had Tiara Tuesdays with Miss Neville and yoga with Mr. Von Stange. I know as a grade we tended to get a bad rap in middle school, but I like to think we have grown greatly in the past 4 years, and I know we will continue to grow past what we were once labeled as. I would also like to thank the Monson community as a whole. Thanks to you, we have been given opportunities to grow and expand our horizons, while always knowing we have a home and family to return to. And lastly, to family, friends, and staff, on behalf of the class of 2017, thank you. We wouldn't be here without you. You've seen us break down and help build us back up. We've disappointed you, and yet you have remained a constant in our lives. And even still, there have been times where your cheeks have hurt from smiling. I hope today you can say we've made you proud. Thank you.
Please join me in calling Elizabeth TYBURSKI to the podium to deliver the honors address.
Good evening. I'd like to start out by welcoming the school committee, Superintendent Clarke, administration, faculty and staff, our families, friends, and of course, the graduating class of 2017. Thank you all for attending this celebration. As we close this chapter in our lives and we move on to the next, whether it be work, college, or other plans for the future, we appreciate everything you've done to us to get us to this point. To my teachers, I want to extend the sincerest gratitude. You, more than anyone else, have pushed us to achieve our highest potential in the classroom and have given us a high school experience that was intellectually stimulating and gave us the foundation for success later in life. But more importantly, you instilled in us values that will last much longer than anything we learned in a textbook, with much greater weight in determining the people we will become. I also want to thank the school committee, Superintendent Clarke, Mr. Metzger, Ms. Fallis, for your contributions to the excellence of the district and all your work behind the scenes to give us the experience we are so lucky to have. And Mrs. Maloney, for being a constant advocate, friend, and helping hand to not only myself, but every student at MHS. After that formality, I'd like to take this to a more personal level. Growing up in a small town like Monson comes with many benefits. One of those benefits is the relationships you create knowing people on a deeper level. I can look at the class of 2017 and see qualities far more important than what meets the eye. With that in mind, let me take this time to acknowledge the qualities that aren't mentioned in the ceremony today. The ones that maybe haven't earned an NHS stole or a speech up at the podium, but are qualities that are far more important upon building our success. Sitting here today are athletes, artists, driven workers, leaders, musicians, and so much more. There are students here today that take care of younger brothers and sisters day by day, students that rush from school to practice to work, only hoping to catch a full 8 hours of sleep. These students have patience, they have determination, and they have goals. They have so much more than what is reflected by the number on our transcript. I didn't plan to drop any cliche quotes tonight, but I found one very famous quote that seemed fitting. Education is what remains after one has forgotten everything learned in school, a quote by Albert Einstein. Coming from a man we all consider a genius, those words should serve as an inspiration to all these past 12 years, and the classroom does not define us as people. The best is yet to come. School hasn't just provided us with information to learn, but has instilled values that we will hold on to for our lifetime. In 20 years, we will come back here to realize that our test scores and homework grades were not the foundation of our future, but rather qualities we obtained along the way were far more valuable. Success comes from building upon our passions. It takes a different path for each of us. I think today we can all say we've had our small successes and are moving forward toward the peak. Never compare your achievements to the person beside you, because we are individuals. The world would never function if we all obtained the same characteristics. Who would run for president if we were all competing to be doctors? Who would build the next great monument if we were all sitting in law school? We will each make our mark in this world differently with our achievements and better it as a whole. We will forever be a team, playing in different positions to win and improving the world we are stepping into. As we close this chapter at Monson High School, leave here remembering the catalysts for our success are not solely defined by the grades we received, but the values that were instilled throughout these years together. Thank you.
Please join me in calling upon the valedictorian of the Monson High School class of 2017 to give her essay with valedictory, Samantha Gilmore. Mrs. Fallis will hang the valedictorian medal around Samantha as she approaches the podium.
It's a little too tall for me. First of all, I'd like to thank the school committee, Superintendent Mrs. Clarke, Principal Mr. Metzger, administration, faculty, family, and friends for attending our graduation ceremony tonight. Everyone starts out these graduation speeches by saying that high school was the best 4 years of their life and how they can't believe time flew by so quickly. However, the average life expectancy in the United States is about 80 years. So high school is only 1/20th of your entire life. How can anyone truthfully say the best time in your life is in that short time span when you're limited to the confines of childhood, when all you want is to be treated like an adult? These 4 years of my life haven't been the best 4 years, but the person I became and the things I've learned in these 4 years are things I would never change. These 4 years and 4 walls hold moments when I felt on top of the world, but they also hold moments of stress and frustration. They've seen me at my highest highs and lowest lows, which I now see all served a purpose in my life. My fondest memories of the school revolve around my first semester of junior year. I was doing better than ever in cross country, my classes were easy, and I was surrounded by friends that never failed to make me laugh. I was having fun and was the least stressed about school I'd ever been, which for me isn't common. I was constantly happy. These moments taught me not only that the company of good friends is rare, but it taught me to cherish good memories, because the following semester was less than enjoyable. My second semester of my junior year could only be described as miserable. I had never felt more out of control in my life. I was constantly stressed and pushed myself to the brink of a breakdown to keep up with my rigorous class schedule. I was antisocial and quiet, and those of you that know me know that quiet is not in my vocabulary. Instead of making memories with my friends that were soon to leave for college, I was constantly doing homework and studying. I wasn't happy. However, as all things are, this unhappiness was cured by summer break. During this time, I learned that nothing can replace the support of your parents and your friends, and that all things come to an end. I also learned that even though every setback seems like the end of the world when you're in high school, it never is. Although these past years have held ups and downs that I wouldn't want to relive, everything happened for a reason. High school isn't always the place you want to be most, but it's a crucial part of becoming who you are. Oh, sorry. It's a crucial part of becoming who you are. The person you are when you enter high school in freshman year and the person you are when you leave are two completely different people. You enter as a naive freshman that is just starting to figure out the way the world works. You may leave as a person with scars and thicker skin, but you're leaving a stronger and smarter version of yourself. Freshman year, I had no idea who I was or what I wanted to be. I tried so hard to fit in and just go along with what every other kid did. I pretended to be interested in things I wasn't, and I laughed at jokes I didn't think were funny, in the hopes of really feeling like I belonged. But if this school has taught me anything, it's that you need to become your own person and follow your own path in order to be happy, even if that means being the black sheep. No one brand of clothing or party or person will make you happy. That's on you. I think I can speak for everyone when I say that I didn't enjoy every second, hour, week, month, or even every year that I was here, but what I take with me when I leave isn't an understanding of calculus or even the ability to speak Spanish. What I take with me is all the other lessons I've learned here. I've learned about hard work, friends, people, and also a lot about myself. High school is by no means easy, but neither is life. Each of us today leaves here with a diploma and 4 years of experiences, but little else in common. This small class of 82 people is filled with a diverse bunch with different traits, beliefs, and futures ahead of them. However, we all take with us memories and lessons. No matter what path we choose to follow in life, it will never be an easy one. Some of us will go on to college, some of us will go into the workforce, and others will follow their own path. No matter what we choose to do in life, we will have setbacks and hindrances which will be frustrating and make us want to give up. But I can't help but think that these 4 years have helped to prepare us in some way for the situations that may not work in our favor, or for times when we feel like it's the end of the world. No part of life is easy, but the low points make you stronger while the high points teach you to be grateful. Congratulations to everyone, and we finally made it. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I'm CHERYL Clarke, your very honored Superintendent of Schools. As I sat here listening to the young women here tonight, it just fills me with so much pride. This is my 12th year in Monson, and as I look out at the sea of faces, I know so many of you as wonderful parents, family members, former students, and it has been a real joy to watch the young people you see before you mature into the young men and women that they are today. I was fortunate to be their principal for 4 years while they were at the middle school, and it's just been quite an experience seeing them as they are now. And they are that way because of you, and because this town is an amazingly special place. We have been through so much together, the tornado, testing, all kinds of challenges ahead of us, and the staff and administrators and counselors that we have here in this district are truly unparalleled, and I'm not just saying that, I've been in a lot of districts, and you are all so fortunate to work with those that we have here in our district, and to have such special families as well. So you've heard lots of advice and insight tonight, and I'm going to give you a brief little bit of advice, very simple. And I quote the author Henry James, "3 things in human life are important. The first is to be kind. The second is to be kind. And the third is to be kind." This is a critical time in our world. There is unrest and uncertainty, social media, people hide behind the thin veil of social media to broadcast negativity and misinformation. The job market and academia, they're extremely competitive, and many believe it is important to win at any cost. Therefore, in this type of environment, sometimes being kind requires courage. But don't equate kindness with weakness. Assert yourself, stand up for what you believe, but do it in a respectful way. There is a potential for kindness in every encounter that you have. For example, listen to a friend, share your wisdom. Be patient. The next time you're standing in line at the grocery store and someone is taking a really long time getting the money out or figuring out the ATM machine, maybe you smile, take a deep breath and smile. And you will feel better, you will feel good, and so will that person. I love what Mother Teresa says. Every time you smile at someone, it is an action of love, a gift to that person, a beautiful thing. We are social beings. We are all connected. And our happiness depends on the positive relationships we have with each other. Approach every day with kindness and compassion. Do not let greed or hatred be your driving force. Step outside your comfort zone. Let others in. Your life will be enriched by the positive interactions, and you will also enrich the lives of others. Maya Angelou writes, "People will forget what you said. People will forget what you did. But people will never forget how you made them feel." So carry that with you in your heart. Thank you. Mr. Metzger, Mr. Soriel, are you ready? I attest that the members of the class of 2017 have met all of the local and state requirements for a Monson High School diploma. I now present them to you for graduation and authorize you to proceed with the conferring of diplomas. Yay! You ready? Hi. Shelby, Shirley, Kelsey. Timothy James Howard II. Timothy Hogan Hedspeth. Julia Lynn Gibatowski. Madison Rose Gerry. Emma Ann Forrest. Jessica Nicole Dugan. Taylor Victoria DiGiorgio. Mackenzie Elizabeth Degnan. Elena Anling Cakeley. Cody Russell Bridges. Miranda Louise Payne. Christina Marie Cuss. RENA Nicole Reyes. Noah John Malo. Elizabeth Ann TYBURSKI. Haley Gabrielle Verelst. Samantha Lynn Gilmore. It's like in my face. Pull it away or something. Well, I guess so. Oh. Over to the side. Thank you. That's good. Thanks. No, that's good. Anthony Brennan Dugray. Joshua Timothy Doherty. Congratulations. Madison Lee DeSanti. Keith Ashton Davies. Summer Lee Bren. Jacob Daniel BRAZ. Elizabeth Afton Boudreau. Cassidy Lee Bailey. So proud. James Christopher Alexander. Yassine Bahu Abdul Wadud. Daniel David Silva. Catherine Ellen Plant. Amanda Christine Parmele. Bryanna Ashley Murphy. Charlene Marie Meserve. Bradford Douglas Medeiros. Casey Susan Lee. Madison Teresa Kowal. Joshua Isaac Madison. Cameron Joseph Mack. Amanda Mary Lloyd. Alex Curran Lima. Michael Derek Leyburn. Lilia Kosabutsky. Nicholas James Ketterman. Sarah Ann Kelly. Brett Ryan Keating. Brian Matthew Joseph. Cameron Robert Johnson. Madeline Marie Hutchinson. Emily Michelle Huff. Connor Owen Hicks. Crystal Lee Hayes. Jacob Dwight Gordon. Amanda Rose Gardell. Tyler Anthony Garceau. Jennifer Rose Fabricki. Autumn Irene Dupuis. Catherine Elizabeth Swed. Madison Marie Zolo. Kyle Joseph Zeiler. Peter Michael Yankopoulos. Brittany Marie Wellington. Michael Giovanni Tranghisi. Lucille Leona Soderstrom. Benjamin Judson Smith. Connor Kendrick Scavera. Laura Elizabeth Silva. Catherine Ann Sorial. Brandon Michael Richardson. Connor Matthew Pennington. Cameron Anthony Pafumi. Antonio Rafael Orsieri. Alec Arthur North. Matthew Norman Nodell. Michael Peter Murphy. Trey James Miller. Anna Lisa Mercieri. Brandon Joseph Mead. Caleb Jordan Marcotte. Connor Fitzpatrick Edward Mangan. And Christian Fisher McGill. Congratulations, everyone. So excited for you all.
I now have the distinct privilege of calling upon the president of the senior class of 2017, Noah Malo, who will offer some closing remarks.
Good afternoon. So when you think of graduation speeches, we often think of someone standing up here talking about what they'll miss, what they won't miss, and every little experience that they had throughout high school. We think of someone quoting a famous person, or someone telling a story in hopes that they can give a little piece of advice to the underclassmen. When I was deciding what to talk about up here, I knew it couldn't be fake or just more lines read off of a piece of paper. That is why I'm going to take this opportunity to talk about one of the most important things than anything that we've gone through throughout this week, and that's family. Family is the single most important thing in my life, and without every single one of them sitting here tonight, I might not be where I am today, and I think that goes for most of us sitting up here. I'm sure many of you heard the age-old quote that says, "You can pick your friends, but you can't pick your family." I look in the crowd and back at my life, and I realize, how can you possibly be blessed with a better group of people than the ones I've been blessed with? Now, if you aren't aware, I come from a very large family. One of our running jokes is that going on a date here in Monson is tough because unfortunately later on down the line you find out you were related to them. So, regardless of the size, every single person has brought me to this point. We have this picture that's hung up at my grandparents' house that continuously ran through my mind while this crazy week went on. It has all of our names on a Scrabble board, and above it reads, "Without each other, the puzzle isn't complete." So I'd like to take this opportunity to say some thank yous to some people in the crowd. Thank you to the men in the Melo family, for my uncles, my grandpas, and of course my father. The ones who taught me that when the going gets tough, you dust yourself off, stare it right in the face, and keep pushing forward. To all of you, I'd just like to say that if I ever reach a point in my life where I'm half the men you are, I will consider it a success. To my grandmas, who often take the roles as moms, and are ready anytime a Band-Aid needs to be applied, from 4 years old up to 18. To my aunts, who never fail to make me laugh, and who have done more for this town than anyone can possibly imagine. To my cousins, who are some of the most incredible people I've ever known. They were there on day one, and I wouldn't want anyone else by my side throughout my life. I know in my heart that no matter how far we stray from home, we will always find our way back to each other. To my brother, who has taught me more about life than I ever thought possible. He taught me how far blood runs, whether it be on the inside or spread out all over the house. He taught me how it's possible to hate someone so much and love them at the same exact time. I remember being young and telling my parents that there is no way I will ever like him. I hate everything about him, I would say after another one of our fights where my mom would lock herself in her car to escape the violence. They would look at me and tell me how he will be there for the rest of my life whether I like it or not. Today I look at him and realize that I can't wait to see what the future holds. And as long as you live, I will be waiting to take on whatever challenge stands in our way. Thank you to my brothers sitting in the crowd tonight. You know who you are, and we've had our fair share of fights, but in the end, the love will always be there. And finally, to my mom, who is sitting here right now with mascara streaming down her face, and everybody can see it. She started crying the first day I took on high school and hasn't let up since. I speak for a lot of us right now when I say a son's main goal in life is to make his mother proud. And I work every day in hopes that the tears continue, the good ones, of course. Now that's my family, the ones who I can't get rid of. But the definition of family is far deeper than just a group of people related to each other. Family means growing together. It means starting from the beginning when we anxiously looked at each other on our first day of school to throwing our caps high in the air on the last. We've had our fair share of bumps, but no matter where we go in life, the bond we formed throughout these years at Monson will never go away. To leave you all with something, I just hope deep in my heart that everyone can stay connected somehow. I'm going to end with one of my favorite quotes, and this goes to my family sitting up here and all of you out there. Friends come and go, but family is forever. Thank you.
I now invite the marshals to stand the class of 2017. Please all stand as the class of 2017 recesses. Congratulations.